I cannot say how amazing this trip was. It feels kind of embarrassing slowing things down. At one point I was putting out short form content every other day. Do I regret not being able to make videos alongside all those life events? The minute you tell people that you're a doctor, they assume that that's your life. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This hopefully should be the first video of the year. I just wanted to give you guys like a quick update on what's been going on, kind of set the direction for this upcoming year, and just let you know what I'm planning basically. Last year was pretty eventful. I didn't have the same amount of time or free time to make these videos, but that doesn't mean that I wasn't creating at all. For example, just after my last Dolomites video, around that time I was also making videos for the Hippocampus TV, which is my medical education channel, and I was actually on a mad one basically. At one point I was putting out short form content every other day, and that took a lot of time. So if you don't know what it is, Hippocampus TV is where I break down complex medical conditions and symptoms, etc., into digestible videos that can be understood by anyone from the age of 10. So it's essentially for the public to understand. But these videos took time. When I'm telling you, it takes time to break down a medical condition, to show it in a 1-minute vertical video. You've got to get rid of so much information while still holding on to the clarity, the message, while being clear, succinct, getting all the nuance in there as well. It's actually much more difficult to make a 1-minute video on a complicated topic than to make a 10-minute video, for example, because a 1-minute video, you've got to cut it down to its bare essentials, right? And still make it entertaining, still make it watchable, still make it exciting to look at. And I did enjoy making those videos, but the issue is that these videos take time, and they didn't really pick up as quickly as I'd like it to do. But I knew that this was going to be a long game, but I think I started to spread myself a bit too thin. Like, this is one issue that I've had which is where essentially what I do is I jump from one project to another without really giving the previous ones the proper attention that they deserve. For example, I had my newsletter, which I was doing once a week, my YouTube channel. I have this Hippocampus TV now, which obviously demanded a lot of attention as well. And then I started a podcast, which I'll get to in just a moment. All of that while being a full-time doctor. Now, being a full-time doctor, go to the gym, be healthy, keep up my relationships, friends, family, life admin, chores, all of that stuff. It's bloody impossible, man. And it just becomes more tiring as time goes on, because I'm 28 now. I won't lie, I don't have the same youthful energy I did when I was 18, 19, you know what I mean? And life took priority. It had to. I had to kind of slow down on the creating side just to open up time. And do I regret not being able to make videos alongside all those life events? Absolutely. I wish I could do everything all at once, but I can't. But I started to feel this sort of sense of I started missing making these videos for my personal channel, because it's a form of a creative outlet which I don't have anymore. It's the most creative for me anyway, because I can talk about whatever I want, however I want, whenever I want, to whichever audience I choose to make it for. So it's YouTube's one of the most creative things you can do, because you've got a blank canvas. You're not being told what to do in any sense of the word, This camera is jittering like a mother. Going back to the podcast, if you don't know what my podcast is, it's called Making It. It's a podcast between myself and my good friend Sugar, who's also a doctor and creator. And we actually recorded this in 2022. I never got around to editing it and making it, funny enough, until early 2023. Now, I edited these episodes and I put them out, but I didn't really share them properly. I didn't make clips out of them. I didn't really, squeeze the most out of it. I hardly shared it at all. If you haven't watched it, I'll tell you what it's about. So Making It, the whole idea is that we wanted to talk about creating things, makers, creators, anyone who's building something either online or in person. We want to talk about the creative process behind making those things. And a lot of these sort of channels that focus on creators, they always gravitate towards people who have already succeeded, rather than those who are currently just in the thick of it, just doing it, grinding it out, making things, and also in the process of trying to make it. So it's got that kind of double meaning, because we've not made it as per se, we're trying to make it. we recorded those sessions alone. We don't have any guests at the moment, but there was about 6 episodes. So if you want to check that out, they're all online. We covered a lot of topics from YouTube, why we started, being South Asian creators in the space, what our creative processes are, loads of these common topics. And hopefully, if we do get around to making a second season, this time we're going to bring on some pretty good guests. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. So that's the second project I sort of was working on earlier this year. The third update is what's going on in my work life, which is me being a doctor. You may have noticed that I don't really talk about it that much either on my Instagram or my YouTube or a lot of these places, because for a long time I felt like I didn't want my identity to be completely shrouded by the fact that I'm a doctor. Because the minute you tell people that you're a doctor, they assume that that's your life. They assume that in large part that's what all your time is taken up with. But that's not the truth. But the fact is that I am a full-time doctor, and I guess if I'm making these videos now to try and document my life and what's going on, it's worth me just at least speaking to myself and just sort of running through the thoughts of what's going on in my work life as well, if you want to hear that. If not, just let me know in the comments. I'll cut it out. Anyway, I am currently an F5 doctor. That basically means that I did my first F1 and F2 years, which is the foundation years of a junior doctor, which everyone has to do in the UK. You rotate through the hospital in different specialties. Then I took out a year, which they call an F3, it's a colloquial term, a year out to kind of do locum work, which is where you fill in empty gaps in the rotas and in the hospital, but you get paid a little bit better. You get to choose what days you go in, and so a lot of people choose this because it's nice and flexible. You've got a lot more autonomy over the type of work that you do and when you do it, but it means that you're not formally on a training pathway to a higher level, or for example to becoming a consultant. I'm currently in my F5, which means that this is my 3rd year of doing that. However, I have an offer to start GP training. So this April, I'm actually starting to train as a general practitioner, a GP, which will take just under 3 years. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a bit of change, to moving through some specialties again, but also just a change up of environment, even though I've loved the years I've had as a doctor where I currently am working. So that brings me to what you can look forward to in this year. So number one, I think in order to increase my output and make videos more regularly, I'm going to try and do more of a documentation style vlogs and videos. I'm still going to try and put that same cinematic kind of style and storytelling vibe to all the different videos. However, it's going to be a bit more raw, a bit more uncut, things like this. This isn't scripted. I usually script all my videos to pack a punch, and I'm not the best at freestyling, going off the cuff, but hey, maybe this is going to help me with it, like improvising and thinking off the top of my head, formulating thoughts. I'm going to be documenting sort of what's going on in life. There's still going to be a lot of travel content. For example, last year I went to Naples, Scandinavian countries such as Norway, Sweden, and I took a cruise to Finland with some family, so I got a bit of footage there as well, which I want to share. I went to Istanbul again with my family, didn't take so much footage there, but finally I went to Jordan. Now Jordan, I cannot say how amazing this trip was. I went with my good friend Asfi. I got this GoPro, I took my digital camera and my drone, so I took a lot of footage which I really want to compile together and make into a good travel film. And that's going to be quite similar to, like, if you've seen my previous Dolomites and Iceland videos. If you haven't, go watch those. That's what this Jordan video will hopefully be like. But yeah, I really want to make more content, but I want to be more regular with it. And I'm hoping that I will be able to focus on this one creative endeavor more than the rest, because I'm taking a big risk here by slowing down my medical education channel, the Hippocampus, because I've already put it out there, because there's always a sense of embarrassment as well, even though there shouldn't be, of trying something and not seeing it to the point where it's like picked up. Because then people will look at it, and I'll look at it myself and think, oh wow, like you started something, you didn't finish it, you didn't take it through to the point where you're getting good results out of it. It feels kind of embarrassing, slowing things down, but at the end of the day, there's this phrase, you have to kill your darlings. There's a writing phrase. If you were writing and you wrote this one line, it's just a banger, and you're just in love with that one line or one paragraph, that one little piece of writing. If it doesn't add to the whole message, or it kind of detracts from it, you should delete it. Despite the fact that you love it in and of itself, if it doesn't contribute towards the bigger picture in a beneficial way, you should get rid of it. And I think that's what's happened with my medical education channel, the Hippocampus, and everything else. I'm gonna put all of this creative energy, thought processes that I put in my newsletter, and I'm gonna put it all into these videos for my personal channel. That's what I want to do. At the end of the day, alongside my work, which I can't change, I love being a doctor. I don't want to be a full-time creator. I like being a part-time creator. I like having no obligation to come on here and make these videos. I like not necessarily needing this to be my full-time income. I don't need this to succeed. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it helps me clarify my thinking. It helps me tell stories. I want to prioritize this before all the other projects. So what you guys can look forward to this year is more videos. I hope you guys will stick around. I hope you guys have a great year ahead. And yeah, here's to 2024.